Hello students, we are discussing here the chapter number 8 of the class 6. The name of this chapter is body movement. So in these chapters we will be discuss about the movement in our body, and we know that we can easily move our hand, leg, neck and most of the body parts we can easily move. So we will be discuss here how the movement are occur in our body and how many different type of the movement in our body. So firstly we will be classify the movement in the two type or in the two groups. First, when we move our body parts, I am writing here the body parts, BODY parts. So when we are moving our body parts, that will be known as another type of the movement. Okay, and second, when we move our whole body, the whole body means when we are moving from one place to another place. This is the another type of the movement. Okay, so you have to remember when we are moving from one place to another place, like whole body will be moved. This will be known as the locomotion. Locomotion. And when we are just moving a single or particular body parts, like the movement in the neck, movement in head or hand, movement in legs, so definitely that will be known as the movement in body part. So we classify them into the two groups. So you will be see here the movement in the human beings is generally classified into the two types. First is the movement in the body parts, second is the movement in the whole body, that is known as the locomotion. If you will be right here, the locomotions word is refer for the movement of the whole body of the human being. Now, which is the responsible for these motions we will be discussing here. As we know that in our internal part of the bodies, our body is generally made by the bones, and there are the large number of the bones. Okay, so they allow the movement in our body. So we will be discussing here. The name is the skeleton. I think you all know the meaning of the skeletons. Skeletons is a internal structures of the bones of the human beings. We can say bony framework or the framework of the bones, that is known as the skeletons. Okay, and it is also known as the कंकाल in Hindi. कंकाल बोलेंगे हम हिंदी के अंदर. And you have to remember it is the internal bony structures of the human beings. Now we will be take a short descriptions of the skeletons here. Firstly, we will be try to classify our skeleton into the few parts. As we know, the upper part of our body, that is known the head, and the internal part of our head is known as the skulls. Okay, so all the bones that are present in our head, that will be known the skulls. And skulls is generally divided into the few, like the eye socket, upper jaw and lower jaw. These are the different type of the bones and joints are present in our skulls, and we will be describe it in later on these chapters. हम इस चैप्टर्स में इनको डिस्कस करेंगे what are the joints and what are the different type of bones that present in our skulls. Now the second parts, that is known the shoulder bones. So in this shoulder bones there are the two major bones. One, here you will be see this is a horizontal bones in our body, that is the longest horizontal bones is present in our body, and that is known the collar bones. You will be see it is linked with this middle bones. What is the name of this middle bones? That are the front bone. Front bone is known as the breast bones, and it is directly attached to the our shoulders. And second is the shoulder blades. Shoulder blade is also known as the scapula, and that are the fixed bone that present in our upper part of the shoulders, and both bones is made over the shoulder bones. And second on the another part you will be see the arms. Okay, this is the another part of our skeleton. We already know this is the internal part of our hand. So our hand is generally made by the two different type of the arms. One is known the upper arms, or upper arms generally consist by a single bones. And what is the name of the single bones? Yes, humerus. Humerus is the single bone that are present in our upper arm. And in the lower arm you will be see it is generally made by the two small bones. One bone is known the radius, second bone known is the ulna. Okay, ulna बोल देते हैं. So lower is bones generally made by the two. Radius is the thicker bones comparatively ulna. So you will be see radius will be more thicker कंपैरेटिवली उल्ना बहुत ज्यादा थिन होती है. Now this is the our hand, and there are large number of the small bone will be present in our palm, in our fingers. And another structures of our the skeletal system, that is known the ribs, and sometimes we call it the rib cage. Why? Because the ribs means rib is a kind of circular bones like this circular bones. They are around 12 pair of the circular bones present in our chest. So 12 circular bones, we can say 24 ribs are present on our chest. Okay, and that are generally attached with our front bones, from the breastbones to the backbones. If I will show you the 3D diagram of the skeleton, then you will be get the meaning. Here you will be see this is the 3D structures of our skeletal systems, and this rib cage you will be see these are directly attached in the front with a front breastbones, and in the back side you will be see they are directly attached to the backbones. This is the large number of the small bones, they will be attached together and they will be form the backbones. जो backbone से ये काफी छोटी छोटी बोन से मिलकर के कंस्ट्रक्ट हुआ है, बना हुआ है. ओके, हम इसको डिटेल्स में पढ़ेंगे इस चैप्टर्स के अंदर. बट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द रिब केस, यानी कि जो भी हमारा चेस्ट बोन से वो हमारी सर्कुलर बोन्स है, and that are generally present or they are generally attached with the chest bone and with the backbones. Okay, दोनों से हमारा attach होगा. In the last you will be see the backbone is generally attached with our skulls as well as our lower part, or we can say the middle part of our bones, and middle part of our bones is generally known as the hip. You will be see this is the middle part of our body, and that is known as the hip bones. Okay, so you can say hip backbone is generally we say the backbone is attached with the hip bone as well as our skulls. Okay, lower end इसका hip bones में attach होगा, and upper bone इसका जो अपर एंड है वो हमारा स्कल्स के अंदर अटैच होगा. दिस इज ऑल्सो ए लॉन्ग बोन्स, बट दिस इज मेड बाय द वेरी स्मॉल बोन्स. आप देखोगे यहाँ पर छोटी छोटी बोन से मिलकर के ये बोन्स बनती है. इसका लेंथ काफी ज्यादा होती है, बट ये कंप्लीट एक बोन्स नहीं होती. अराउंड 32 बोन्स छोटी छोटी मिलकर के इसको फॉर्म करते हैं. नाउ यू विल बी सी इन आवर लेग्स, दिस इज द अपर लेग, that is also made by the single bones, single thick bones, thick, and this is known as the femurs. And lower legs is generally made by the two bones, one very thick bones, and this thick bones is known as the tibia, and the lower bones is I think very thin bones, that will be known as the fibula. So I think you got the meanings. Lower leg is generally consist by the two bones in the same manner. जैसे हमारा arms था, lower arms दो बोन्स प्रेजेंट, अपर आर्म्स में एक बोन प्रेजेंट. इन द केस लेग्स द सेम वे, अपर लेग में एक बोन प्रेजेंट, लोअर लेग में दो बोन प्रेजेंट. ओके, वी विल बी डिस्कस व्हाई द टू बोन्स एंड व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट ऑफ दिस टू बोन्स, बिकॉज दे हेल्प टू मूवमेंट इन आवर लोअर पार्ट. And here you will be see the foot, it is also made by the some different type of the bones. यहाँ पर भी बहुत छोटी छोटी bones construct होती हैं. And this is the ankle bones, it is a complex structures of the bone. So this is the part of our leg. So generally we classify a broad classification of our skeletal systems. So from the next class we will be discuss in the briefly what are the major function of the each part of skeletons. So we will be discussing here these are the major function of skeleton. What are the function of skeleton? You have to remember skeletons hold our body together and give it shapes. So our body shapes, our body hold together by the skeletal system, because this is a bone. So bone will give the shape to our body, and skeleton protect many delicate internal organs of the body like the brains, heart, lungs, liver and spinal cord out from the outside damage. If you will be see this is the bony structure, so definitely they will be protect our internal organs. Our skull is backed by the bones, and this bone will be protect our brain. Brain is present in inside this skulls. Okay, if some things will be strike or hit on our head, so our brains will be protected by the skulls. तो जो हमारे स्कल्स के अंदर बोन्स है, सो ब्रेन विल बी प्रोटेक्टेड बाय द आवर स्कल्स। सो स्कल्स की जो बोन्स है वो ब्रेन्स को प्रोटेक्ट कर रही है। इन द सेम वे दिस रिब केज विल बी प्रोटेक्ट आवर लंग्स, आवर लिवर, आवर किडनी। ओके, सो मोस्ट ऑफ द इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स आर प्रेजेंट इन आवर रिब केज and that will be protected by the ribs. So protections of the internal organs, it is also the function of skeletal. And the third function, the skeletal provide the numerous point of the attachment of the muscles of the body. So our muscles is also attached on our body. We are not made by the only bones, there are some muscles is also present. अगर आप अपने hands को tightly hold करोगे so आप फील करोगे there are some kind of the muscle is present, okay, on our upper arms. So definitely muscles is also contract with the attached with our bones. हमारी bones से वो भी attached होती हैं, okay, and muscles will also give the shape of our body and they will be protect the bone of the body, okay. And the fourth you will be see the along with the muscles skeletal help in the movement of the body part and the locomotions. So definitely these bones will be allow the joints in our body. If you will be see where the two bones will be attached in this case, if I will be rub it, इसको मैं थोड़ा सा rub करूं and then I will be show. So where you will be see the two bones will be present or they will be joint, जहां पर भी दो बोन्स ज्वाइंट करेंगी, अटैच करेंगी, दैट विल बी नोन द जॉइंट्स. सो मूवमेंट इज जनरली प्रेजेंट एट द जॉइंट पॉइंट्स. जहां पर जॉइंट पॉइंट प्रेजेंट होंगे मूवमेंट्स वही हमारी बॉडी के अंदर प्रेजेंट होगी. सो वी कैन से द स्केलेटल सिस्टम इज ऑल्सो गिविंग द मूवमेंट और प्रोवाइडिंग द मूवमेंट इन आवर बॉडी. क्योंकि जो हमारी बॉडी के अंदर मोशंस है वो किसकी वजह से आया, हमारे स्केलेटल सिस्टम्स की वजह से. सो आई थिंक इट्स क्लियर टू यू एंड फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट क्लास और नेक्स्ट वीडियो वी विल बी डिस्कस in briefly our skeletal system with the different part and the function of the skeletal system like the skulls, rib cage, all these parts. Okay, so thank you students.